So we're playing the C major pentatonic scale, and we're going to start with the pattern that uses open strings down here on the first 3 frets. And it sounds like this. I'll play it in quarter notes, then eighth notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. In eighth notes, it would sound like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Not a bad idea to strum a C chord once in a while you're practicing this scale, because the C major chord is a chord that goes really nicely with this scale. Okay, so we're going to move up the neck. The next pattern is going to be in second position. Your fingers are fanned out. You're going to start with your second finger on the 3rd fret. It sounds like this in quarter notes: 1, 2, 3, 4. Eighth notes, it sounds like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Now the next one, you're on the 5th fret with your index finger, and it sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Eighth note sounds like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We move up to the 7th fret, and the pattern sounds like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Eighth notes: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so now we're on the 10th fret, and the pattern goes like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. The way I think of it is your fingers are staying in line in their assigned frets, except for that one note where you jump out with your first finger to play the 9th fret. You might be tempted to play the next note with your pinky, but I advise against that. I advise using your 3rd finger, because you want to think of it as jumping out of position, then getting right back into position. Otherwise, you can get kind of confused as to what fingers to use for the next strings. So here it is in eighth notes: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That brings us to our last pattern, which is the same as the first without open strings: 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Eighth notes, that would sound like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that is the C major pentatonic all over the neck. I advise learning these individually and really practicing one pattern over and over and over again. For instance, just decide you're going to stay on that pattern. Use the jam tracks that come with the with this lesson, and or with the key of C rather. Find the jam tracks for the key of C, C major, and practice one pattern at a time. you're eventually going to get to where it's just muscle memory and you just automatically go to that fret for that pattern. Then you're going to find that moving from one pattern to another is going to come pretty naturally once you kind of know the points on the neck for each individual pattern. For instance, you immediately go to that 8th fret second finger note, and then you immediately go, for instance, to the 3rd fret with your second finger for the other pattern. You're going to find yourself able to jump around, and then you can start to really work on connecting them. But that's the C major pentatonic, all over the neck.